Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the first day of the Iberian League, and we are on our last best of five series. For those of you that just joined us, hi, welcome. My name is Nelson AC Silva, and I'm joined by Max Formal von Neumann. How are you doing, man? After three series,
I'm doing pretty good actually. I'm still awake somehow. We're pushing on 2 a.m., but we're still going strong. We're
2
and we
a.m.
started at gamer hours. Now we're at peak gamer hours right now. So I'm expecting the action to hit that peak as well as we move to our final best of five. Some big names in this, and I'm very, very excited to see how they perform in this Iberian League.
Absolutely. So we're gonna have our last two teams presenting themselves. It's going to be Los Hombres de PACO facing off against Infusion Gaming Esports. A lot of big names, like you were saying, are involved
Mhm.
in Los Hombres de PACO, including one player that you were harping on about,
Oh, yeah,
Nachito.
and Nachito from Endpoint. He's actually participating in this tournament, and he's going to be playing on Los Hombres de Paco, straight from the RLCS, straight, from the tippy top professional league. Because again, EU greater than NA. I get to say that right now because I'm casting an EU league, and
Yes, you are.
definitely, definitely
You're
excited to
paid to
see
say
that. So
that.
I have I have a high opinion right now of Los Hombres de Paco. I think, honestly, on paper, this team is competing to possibly be the second strongest lineup. Now, granted, they have some real star power on that side. However, Infusion,
Mhm.
as an organization, very, very big throughout Portugal. They have high standards for excellence. So I'm expecting this lineup they put together to be quite competitive. And I'm really going to be curious to see how they match up.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's our last game of the series. We've already paired up a lot of
Mhm.
or most of the teams. We're just lacking two teams, and we've seen some good teams. We've seen some questionable gameplay teams. We even the teams that we expected greatness out of last
Mhm.
game, we saw them kind of fumble and fall over, but they still managed to pull out a win. We
Mhm.
had an interview with one of the players, Gooch, who was also pretty impressed with how interestingly they performed.
Da, 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 da,
Yes, honk, honk.
Fiesta.
Honk they didn't go for it. Nah, they had a cowboy hat, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's close to Mexico Cowboys. Either way, coming into this last one though, what I'm also going to be curious about is there's going to be a second match of Spain versus Portugal, and if we're going to go by country versus country, we are currently 1-0 in favor of.
Don't you say that. You're not allowed to say that. Shut up.
I'm the neutral party right here. So one in favor of Spain right now, and this is going to be Portugal's chance to equalize. See, I'm going to throw it right back. You could take one right back, and we can finish day one at one aside if Infusion is going to be able to take that win. But I still do feel like it's a bit of an uphill battle.
It is going to be an uphill battle. I mean, Los Hombres de Paco are still an established team versus Infusion esports or gaming esports in this case, who as far as the Rocket League scene goes in Portugal, it's not too developed. So they kind of lack the competition, but they still are trying to make a name for themselves. What better
Yeah.
way to make a name for themselves than against the Los Hombres de Pac? So
Yeah, what better way than to get a win over an RLCS player as well? That said, I'm thinking we are pretty ready to go, and we are going to be
mhm.
kicking off momentarily. Our final series of the day is Infusion taking on Los Hombres de Paco. At the end of it all, four teams will be sitting undefeated. Four teams will be looking to bounce back, and we're going to find out who the fourth team is on each side of that equation.
Absolutely. So last game of tonight, another best of five series on the horizon here for us to cast over. Hopefully, it'll be an interesting game. We've seen several playstyles. We've seen defensive playstyles. We've seen super aerial playstyles. We've seen aggro playstyles, and we've seen solo queues. So, what else is there in store for us? I don't know. Maybe we'll see three players with the same car running at each other. So, I don't know.
Oh,
Bump and Jones.
Scarab game. That's what we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen the three Scarab game. I'm hoping we don't see the three Scarab game, but you never know. That could be pulled out in this one. I've seen three Scarabs once. I've only seen it once, and it was in a charity tournament, and it was magnifico. But I don't think this is the right environment for it either way, though. If we do get the Scarab game, hey, I'm in, but not likely.
No, no, I'm full in. I'm just gonna go quick checkly see what the scarab is.
I can. Well, you see how
I
the
got that.
soccer ball is right there
I
in the middle of the
see.
pitch?
I know what the scarab is now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's a
you.
care from my side. Yeah.
Yeah, you drive the soccer ball into the soccer ball. That's how the scarab
It's
works.
like you're playing billiards.
Exactly. And it's one of the hardest cars to like really get a grip of just because the hitbox and what it looks like are so weird and different. Either way, though, we are jumping on to the pitch right now, about to kick off our final series of day number 1, Infusion in blue, Los Hombres de Paco in orange.
But before we head into the game, we do have a word from our sponsor, Prazes, as it is tradition. So and now we're ready. Excuse me. Oh God, that was bound to happen.
Yep.
I've
Gotta
been
have
saving
one.
it the whole. I've been saving it the whole afternoon.
I just got to drop it right there on, the big final series as already. It's actually Infusion putting on that pressure against Los Hombres at the moment. You can see they're content to sit in the box, continue to try and sort of wait out this attack until they find that opening. Chili believes he has it. It's a pass up to Peterburn, but unable to connect on it, and this will lead to that counter attack. Demenza gonna go and try and take it himself, doesn't connect on the double touch, and there's a good defensive effort to stop that next attack. Chili, green pastures, green goal, 1-0 in favor of Los Hombres.
No, that's Infusion on
no.
on the orange side, actually.
Yeah.
Los
My
Hombres de
apologies.
Paco are representing the blue side. The Portuguese team starts off kicking off ahead of the pack here.
My
Against
notes are wrong.
Zurich. It's fine, don't worry about it.
I was wondering why the player names didn't seem to line up correctly, and I put zero thought into it. I was just like, huh, that's odd.
It's
Maybe they're
okay.
writing aliases of
You're
each
forgiven.
other.
You're forgiven for being casting on Prime Player out for Prime Gamer hours, but immediately, without a moment's notice, Los Hombres de Paco with Nachito immediately tie up the scoreboard.
Yeah, but it was really off of that great bump play right there, which set it up. So we are tied once again, 1-1. We are recomposed now. Everything is neutral as it should be. This first game is just a little bit shorter than the others, as off of that kickoff right there, you can see just teams trying to set themselves up. I'm not composed at all, because that goal should not have been scored. Nachito sneaks one by the defense right there to make it 2-1.
How the what? That's a big misplay from Johnny. Nachito capitalizing on Infusion Gaming's mistakes, but that should never happen.
No, that should not happen right there. Johnny just, a big swing and a miss, and probably the easiest goal Nachito has scored in a long time, and we're not done yet. That ball is spiked with a vengeance, 3-1 in favor of Los Hombres.
51 kilometers per hour. Look how fast he spiked that ball. No angle whatsoever for Johnny to defend it. Maybe they should swap around the defensive roles here on Infusion Gaming. Johnny's not having a good time in the goal.
I mean, that right there is why it's always important to know how to play off the backboard. Johnny was trying to play in the goal, and when you do that, sometimes it can leave, that area behind you exposed, and that was really a great job by Kier Monster in order to spike that one in, and looks like Kier is going to get another. He had the flick, but he didn't quite have that angle. Good save by Peterburn.
Great save by Peterburn. Now back on the offense. Infusion Gaming trying to get the ball in, but Johnny bumps it over to Chili, who tries to set it up for his teammates. Goes for the cross. Johnny not in a good position, kind of misses the ball as 3 members from Infusion stack over to try to regain control of the ball. Nachito has to bump it in, crosses it over to the Kier Monster, who's looking for a boost, finds a corner boost, now goes back on the offensive.
Oh, good setup right there from Chili, but Nachito, again, showing wow, you can play off that backward to play some defense. Does a great job and passes it to Kier as well. Doesn't quite get that last flick. Demenza not able to follow through either, so it should be a return to offense for Infusion right now. Johnny Sousa tries to get it past, but is unable to get it past Nachito, and this is actually probably going through to a goal. No, great save by Peterburn.
Great save by Peterburn. Demenza over the wall. Off the ceiling. Chili's the last one on the defense as they're trying to collect the boost to set up an offense. The men's already airborne. Full boost. 33. Oh, Nachito takes down Johnny Souza. The men's are now again off the wall. Off the crossbar. Nachito sets it up. Gets a bump off. And then another spike goes in, gets the bar in. Doesn't quite find the target on the ball. Chile now gets interrupted by Cure Monster on the side, trying to move in for the goal.
Yeah, it's going to be a backward play. Pass back up to Demenso. He'll throw it for Nachito, who should be able to spike it through, but Chile's able to get in the way. Might not matter. No, the ball didn't quite have that right angle. Peterborough tries to go to the corner, but he takes out Chile as well. Defense racing to get past into position. Chile actually just sits still and has the ball thrown his way. However, Kier Monster will be able to turn it right back around. Peterborough needs to get a good touch, but is challenged and loses out to Kier, who throws it back to Nachito, but throws it back a little too hard. Peter tries to punish by pushing it straight through, but is unable to get any power behind it. Ball still in the box, shot from Chile, stopped by Kier Monster, and now Nachito should be able to take it the other way.
They're going to take it the other way, but they kind of bump into each other. Don't find the goal. Bit of a discoordination there from Los Hombres de PACO.
I think that was a pinch attempt right there. Yes, that definitely was a pinch attempt. There's no other reason why he would have turned that situation, unless he also could have been trying to throw his own teammate off, but I'm going to assume the better of him right there and think that was a pinch attempt in that one.
3-1 on the scoreboard. Peter Burton on the offense. Gets plowed down by Nachito. Doesn't find the positioning to get the crossover as the Menza manages to get the ball rolling, but it immediately gets cut off by Chile. Now it's Chile again, trying to get a ball into a position that he can cross it over for his team as Johnny goes airborne, tries to find the ball into the center of the pit. Peterborough goes in, but goes a little bit under the ball, lobs it over to the side of Los Hombres de PACO.
Yeah, and I have to actually admit, Infusion has been doing a pretty good job on defense, a lot better than I was expecting in terms of turning momentum around and finding opportunities to counterattack. Now, they haven't been as aggressive or as fast as Los Hombres has been, but there's definitely been some opportunities given to them. So even though they lose this first game 3-1, potentially, unless another goal is scored, I definitely did see a lot from Infusion that I like. However, Los Hombres de PACO, they were the faster team. They were able to score goals from crazy angles that I don't think Infusion was expecting. And as a result, they get themselves a pretty comfortable 3-1 victory.
Absolutely. And we saw a huge difference as well. As soon as Infusion Gaming swapped Johnny from the defense over to a more midfield type position, where he was just trying to recollect the balls that were being bounced off the offense and trying to regain the ball control from a defensive position. Now, as soon as Peterborough swapped to a defensive position, it made a whole difference. It's a shame, however, for Infusion Gaming that you had to drop 3 balls in order to get that swap on the defense.
Yeah, and again, I just feel like a couple of factors come into it. Like perhaps Peterborough's a bit more comfortable in playing off of the backboard. Maybe as well, just that could be a weakness of this team as a whole, because all of the goals from Los Hombres de PACO did come from aerial plays kind of right over that box, just being spiked straight down. That seemed to be that gap that Infusion is going to have to handle and deal with moving forward. Those are tough balls to save. Like, I'm not saying this is an easy play by any means, because they come fast and they can be very, very accurate. And the best way to challenge it is either to get up there off the backboard and bump, or make some crazy save out of the goal. They tried the crazy save out of the goal strategy, didn't really work. So I actually want to see them try and bump Los Hombres de PACOs off of these pass plays, off of these setups above the goal, and maybe they'll have a bit more success.
Game number 2 is live right now with the lead for Los Hombres de PACO. They won the first game 3-1, but the first goal was scored by Infusion Gaming. Let's see if they can pull the same prowess again, because they're riding the offense really, really hard here.
Yeah, Johnny, if he had put that one a bit more accurately, that actually could have been a goal. However, he didn't really get a lot of touch on that dunk attempt, and as a result, we get to see the counterattack because there was a lot of members of that orange side pushing forward. Here, Monster right now is going to pass it back to his team. Demensa goes up, but Nachito actually went for it as well, and the double attack, double commit will turn into a counterplay, and Johnny Sousa will find the first goal in game number 2.
Actually pinched it out of Nachito. Look at this. Chile goes in. Gets the pinch of it. It's Johnny who pinches it off to Cheeto on the rebound to get a clean goal to open up the scoreboard in favor of Infusion.
Yeah, at the same time, though, that goal actually was a lot more difficult, I feel like, for Infusion than it really should have been, just because they were trying to counterattack off of a double commit. There was no one back on defense, and yet Nachito was almost able to rotate back and save it right there. Now, granted, Infusion, they're going to be happy with that goal. They're going to be even more happy with the lead right now, but they've got to be very careful. Nachito has a chance. It's going to be a backboard setup. Where's the third man? Kiera's up. Kiera shakes the ball down, but he can't quite hit his mark.
Good lord. I mean, the crossbar is being Infusion's best friend right now. because three attempts back to back landing on that crossbar of Infusion Gaming's goal.
I mean, we were talking savior of the season earlier today. I mean, already top crossbar leading the charge.
Crossbar is already looking at the ward, but that's an anticlimactic goal if I've ever seen one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I want to kind of see what happened right there. It's just a pass to Demenza, and you can see the third man. Yeah, no one on defense able to touch that ball. Everyone just a bit too far behind, and very awkward situation. You've got to pick better angles than that, otherwise you are going to get punished. Yeah, awkward goal for sure, but definitely one that Los Hombres de PACO are going to be happy to take. Equalizing this game back up, I do expect to see, you know, Infusion continue what they were trying to do in this game, and that is playing a lot of these alleyways right now, as well as looking for fast counterattacks. Just because they did let one go behind them, I don't think they need to be giving up hope, as Demenza is able to spike one right underneath.
And that's goal number 2. They left one goal behind, and they left the second goal. 3 minutes left on the clock. Their defense, they're kind of faltering there. They're not finding the right tempo to get the boost and get back on the defense here. They're not rotating as fast as they would like.
Yeah, definitely seems to be the case. However, that kickoff did look pretty good. If Peterborough can get a good touch on it and follow through, Chili's actually the one who follows through, but here Monster, smart read on defense, able to stay back and get that save. Passing it to Nachito, delayed flick right there. However, it's a good read again by Peter in order to stop the attack.
See what else he's got up in his sleeve. Good air play here from Peter Byrne, but immediately gets cut off by Demenza. Johnny Souza now on the offense as well, leaving Peter Byrne to defend the goal. Huge air play here from Los Hombres de PACO, who are now rotating back to the defense. As you see Johnny Souza in Chile trying to make a play.
Oh, Peter Byrne doesn't have the height to make that stop right now. However,
no.
Johnny is back on defense, and this hasn't bode well in the pass before. Nachito with the flick. He tries to get to Gear Monster, who is just unable to get that touch. You can definitely see when Johnny seems to be that third man back, that's sort of when the floodgates open, and all of a sudden, Los Hombres de PACO go hard. Now, 2.25 minutes remaining. I want to see more of those counterattacks that Infusion used to create opportunities for themselves before, but it seems like they're struggling to get defensive touches on the ball more so as this game progresses.
You see the ball is on the side of Los Hombres de PACO. Chile is behind Nachito to disrupt and bumps him away. Goal wide open, but Gear Monster off the ceiling gets another miracle defense here for Los Hombres de PACO. Chile tries to set up for his team. Nobody is there to pick it up. A free goal comes in. Johnny a little bit too low on the boost. Can't quite find the mark.
That's 2 strikes, and you know there was a third earlier in the game, and you know what they say about 3 strikes, you're out, as Demenza is going to go ahead and punish. Johnny had 2 opportunities to find goals, and twice he hesitated on it. Finally, it's actually Los Hombres de PACO who find that opening for that counterattack, and now they have that 2-goal lead.
2-goal lead with a minute and a half. Everything looks bright here for the team of Los Hombres de PACO. A lot of demos coming through, a lot of bumps as well, and another clean goal. What a play in tandem with Cure Monster.
Yeah, as we take a look at this replay right here, no one was going up to challenge Cure Monster, or at least not quite fast enough. He was given space, he was given time, and he put that ball perfectly for Demenza to just spike it in. Defense needs to get into the face. You can't give spacing like that to your opponents, because with time, with boost, at this level of gameplay, they're going to punish you for it, and they're going to look clean while doing it. That said, Chile, off of the dunk, able to find a goal right back.
Nachito was trying to get a play going from the back of their play, but it's a basic rule to not cross a defensive ball over your own goal, or this might happen.
Yeah, that was just a really good dunk right there from Chile, and well played from him. I like that aggressive bone. I like willing to challenge in the box. I think that's what you have to do when you're behind, 3 goals with just under 2 minutes remaining. So now 2 goals, just over a minute. That's a lot more doable, especially with Nachito kind of missing balls like that. This should lead to a clear and should lead to an offensive attack. That said, Chile kind of pulled the trigger a bit too early. He just swung and missed nothing. So it's sort of a 2v3 situation, and that's not going to work against a team of Los Hombres caliber.
No, it's not, and they're trying to set up an air play yet again. Cure Monster has no boost. However, he picks up the corner boost, try to get himself back on his feet. Johnny just gets enough air to get on that ball, because nobody on the team of Infusion Gaming have any boost to their name.
No, I mean, Infusion really have been struggling to sort of get those boosts just because of how well Los Hombres has been playing around the outskirts of
Oh
this map. They've been
my
getting all of those
lord.
boosts. Nachito unable to bang that ball in. Demensa, however, will keep that pressure going, try to set up through the corner. Nachito was the man taking the shot. Triple commit on defense, though, might open something up if Chili can't get that good touch. Struggles with it, pass back to Dementia. He doesn't even need to touch it because Kermonster has already put it in the net.
I mean, that was a huge fake as well from the side of Los Hombres de Paco. Look at this. The Menza goes in. Johnny was winning on the rebound from the Menza, but he just basically he didn't need to touch it because the ball was well oriented and it tricked Johnny to try to go for defense, and the ball was never there.
Yeah, and what started to look like maybe a bit more of a competitive game number 2 has just been completely taken over by Los Hombres in this one as the ball will slowly bounce towards the net, but won't find its way in it just yet. That said, we have hit that 0-second mark, so it will be a victory once again for Los Hombres de Paco, who are in complete control of this series.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball hasn't landed yet. One more second. They're keeping it in the air. They're keeping it in the air. Infusion wants to get the 0-second honor goal, but it touches the ground, and the victory goes to Los Hombres de Paco.
Yeah, and Los Hombres just seem to be that faster team in this one. They're more confident in the air and really more confident on when committing for the ball. And that's something that Infusion's been lacking. Sometimes they've hesitated, and sometimes they've hesitated with open nets, and that's really what's punished them in this series. But at the same time, with one player is hesitating, you also have another player sometimes overcommitting and going for something that he really stands no chance for connecting with. I'm of course speaking Johnny Souza when it comes to hesitating, and Chile when it comes to at times being a bit over aggressive. Now, granted, Chile did get that dunk goal, so I could kind of see why
Yeah.
he was trying to carry that momentum, but
No.
I feel like Infusion, they're just not on that same tone.
Yeah. No. I feel what you mean, but at the same time, what I also am feeling is that Infusion just run out of steam. You see them kick off the game; they look really strong on the offense and on the defense, but as you go on, it just I don't know, it feels like they run out of steam. It feels like they get physically tired from playing, from running around the field, and they just get slowly but surely out-rotated by Los Hombres de Paco.
Well, a big thing with Rocket League is the mental aspect of it, because essentially you get to the stage where everyone does sort of have that high skill ceiling where they can pull off crazy stuff. And then it turns into that mental game, kind of similar to tennis
Mm,
almost in that regard. And I feel like, especially in game number 2, after a couple of those open net misses, it kind of got into the head of Infusion, and they didn't have that same fire that they did at the start of game number 2 when they had that one goal lead, when things were actually going in their favor. So I'm hoping they can bounce back coming into game number 3 and maybe find a way to regain some of that spark, regain some of that pep, that fire in them, because they're on the verge of being swept. And so far, no one's been swept yet today. So they're going to
no.
need to find that fire if they're going to start to turn things around.
Right, and we're going into game number 3 once again. Servers have issues to say the least, so we're gonna have to recreate them. We apologize for the issues once again, but we'll get back to it as fast as we can. Match point, however, for Los Hombres de Pago, which means that Infusion are on thin ice right now, and they
They
don't
are.
look like they have what it takes to really match up against Los Hombres de Paco, who a player from the Canyons has already hyped up as one of the favorites on this tournament as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Los Hombres de Paco, they are a very strong team, and so far what I've seen from them today, they're definitely looking like, at least in my eyes, my wonderful, what I like to call the silver eye test,
The
because
tired eyes as well.
oh yeah, the tired silver eye test. They're looking probably like the second best, if not the best team in this tournament. They're definitely going to be up there competing with Canyons from I've seen EC4 as well, definitely up there. So the Spanish team is definitely coming out full force in this one, almost taking this tournament to another level. However, when we're looking at the Portuguese teams, I actually don't dislike Infusion. I think they're doing a lot of really good things in this, especially when they have more of that momentum on their side. If they can just sort of keep up that pace,
Yeah.
challenge a bit more, have a bit more confidence with some of these plays that they're going for, I think they might be able to actually take it to Los Hombres. So I'm hoping we see that out of this team. I'm hoping, when they have those opportunities
Mhm.
and those opportunities present themselves, they're feeling confident enough to take them, even if it does mean, missing one or two.
It's just a shame that we didn't really get to see the full potential of these teams, mainly because you had 40 win versus the GTZ Bulls, which we talked about were two of the favorite teams coming into this tournament, and they played off or two of the favorite Portuguese teams coming into this tournament, and they faced off against each other right off the bat.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see tomorrow how they're going to handle themselves, because For the Win is going to be playing up against Infusion, and GTC Bulls are up against EC4 as well. So, a couple of different games to go through, and we'll have to wait and see how they turn out if they can step up their game.
I'm actually very curious to see For the Win taking on Infusion after this one. I think that's going to be actually a real cracker of a game because
Okay.
both these teams and sort of where they sit right now. If For the Win can win that game, I think that I am definitely going to be rating them a lot higher. Just from what I've seen, again, this is only day one, so I don't want to be making grand statements. But if we're
Yeah,
looking at the best Portuguese team, that game might be the game that determines it.
I agree. I mean, then again, you're playing against Infusion, which bottom four teams of the Portuguese scene coming into or all right. So For the Win, Bulls. Then you have Infusion and what We Them
We them
Bots.
bots, we them
We Them
bots,
Bots.
baby.
So currently, as it sits, I feel like Infusion don't really step up to the game after these two games in this best of five series to GTZ Bulls and For the Win. So tomorrow, I do have to favor. I have to give some favor over the For the Win
Yeah.
for tomorrow's games, but I'm more curious to see GTZ versus EC4. I think that one is going to be a tight match,
Oh,
and it's
I
going to be
think
the
that's
closer
also gonna
match
be
of
a
the
lot
night.
of fun. Ooh, I think that's also gonna be a lot of fun as well. Really, all the matches I think are going to be fun tomorrow. So do
Yeah,
make sure you come back for day 2 of this Iberian League. That said, I do believe we are almost ready to kick us off. I'm keen to get back on the pitch. I have my broom ready just in case, but we could see the start of that comeback. I'm hoping Infusion will be able to rally something together and keep that high pace momentum that we saw at the start of both these games through from start to finish. That's going to be what my eyes are on the other side, LH de Paco. Los Hombres de Paco, I should say,
Los
not use
Hombres de
that
Paco.
abbreviation. I want to see more crazy, insane aerial plays because they've
Yeah,
been willing to go up high and make it happen. I want to
exactly.
see that big highlight banger. Let's see, a flip reset double touch. I'm
Oh
throwing that
my.
challenge out there. Let's see if they can pull
Double
it.
flip reset triple touch. Let's go.
Double flip reset triple touch.
Let's
There's
go.
probably some freestylists out there who can do that, with the
Yeah.
blindfold.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm able to say it, somebody's probably gonna be able to do it. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
But
I
ladies and
still
gentlemen, it is match point above all else, and it is Los Hombres de Paco still on the blue side with Infusion Gaming Esports on the orange side. We're ready for game number 3.
Yeah, and off of that kickoff, we are seeing that fast pace coming from this orange side. However, that's a big swing and a miss, and the punishment could be quite lethal. Actually, an awkward bounce out of the corner right there. It almost looks like we're in boomer mode. Either way, Dementia, again, going for that aerial game, striking from above and finding a quick first goal.
I'm glad that was punishable because nobody seemed to punish it. Great spike from the Menza. Attempted save from Infusion, but not enough distance was covered to clear out the ball.
Yeah, and again, like these kickoffs, it does appear as if time and time again, Infusion, they go all out on the kickoff the moment they see the ball going to the opposite side of the pitch. And when these attacks initially fail, all of a sudden they leave themselves super exposed to counterattacks, especially because they have no boost on the back end. And it's really been a good job by Los Hombres de Pacos in order to conserve that boost and use it on the counterattack. That's why they're so fast on these counterattacking plays. And unfortunately, Los Hombres haven't been able to keep up.
Not yet, they haven't. Los Hombres almost get the second goal. Here we go. Nope. Cleared it out by Infusion Gaming Esports, as now they have a clear way over to the goal, but the Menza crosses over and clears it out.
Yeah, it's just never is there an opportunity, unfortunately, for Infusion to collect one of those max boosts unless they go all the way back to their own side. It feels like every single time off of almost cooldown, there is a member of Los Hombres de Paco there to steal it away, and that speed difference has just been really keeping Infusion on that back foot time and time again. Whoa, everyone's going for the pinch off the wall right there. That said, though, Kier Monster, he's the one who will push forward, but unable to get that next touch.
Oh, touch coming in from the Menza. Trying to set it up. No! Johnny Souza gets a huge clear out. And now they're on the offense. Clear away for the ball open, but Demenza goes over Chili and clears it out. Pass it over to Nacho. Now Demenza dribbling the ball, trying to get the flip reset onto the side of Infusion, but doesn't quite get the pitch that he needs to get the goal in. Oh my goodness! Somebody check to see if the Cheetah was all right, because that was the full speed crash onto the wall.
Yeah, he'll be fine, but I'm actually getting a bit more impressed by Infusion's defense. This is an open net. Johnny, no, not again. He runs
Not
out
Johnny,
of
not
boost.
Chili. Oh, no! What? How?
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
Good lord! What is going on?
Oh my goodness. Third open net's a charm, I suppose, but that was actually the most contested, as Demenza almost was able to get up there and stop it. Johnny should have had it. He ran out of boost. Chili should have had it, but a really unfortunate bounce, and then Peter finally is able to bang it through. We're tied, one apiece.
One apiece, and now the Cheeto back on the offense alongside the rest of Los Hombres de Paco, but Chili airborne alongside Peter Byrne. Actually, Chili's very, very grounded. Johnny Souza managed to cut the ball off and get it bouncing off the sidebar. Passes over to the Chili. Johnny still in the air, looking for boost. Finally gets 100 boost. He goes in for the save. Clears out the ball, sets it up for Demenza. However, mid-air crash. They're fine. Chili now open ways all the way over to the goal. Can he find a positioning for a pass? Yes, he can, but no! Peter Byrne goes a little bit too low.
Yeah, Kieran Monster was able to get just underneath it in time, and that would be one Infusion would want back. Again, Infusion, they're finding opportunities for themselves, and they also are finding some pretty clutch saves in this one. This is Infusion, I think, playing at that level that they have to right now. I'm liking a lot of what they're doing. If they can just connect on some of these shots, they would actually probably have the lead in this game. This is why I'm feeling Infusion definitely are going to be a team to watch moving forward. It's just little things that they need to clean up that are stopping them from maybe even contesting with the top teams in this tournament.
Absolutely. Let's see. Like, this game is still ongoing, so let's see if they can actually clear out some way to find the positioning here. As Chili now bumps the ball back. You saw how Demenza pulled the ball all the way back to their field so they can collect the boost on their side of the map. Now they're back on the offense. Going in, clear by Peter Byrne.
Yeah. Kier Monster has just been going for pinch after pinch after pinch. That seems to be his modem operatus, or MO in this case, as Demenza just loses control of the ball right there. He was going for something cheeky. Nachito's not going to let them get past mid-pitch, but Petersburg actually set something up. Johnny again! Why is he always just those couple inches short?
Not even short, he's just low, way too low. They're flying too low. They're miscalculating the height of the ball. Chili goes straight up against the wall as well. Full boost in their favor, but they seem to be managing their boost a lot better than what they were in previous games.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, well, minus Johnny, unfortunately. However, Dementia straight down the middle gets the game-leading goal with only 36 seconds left.
Dangerous position to be in if you're Infusion Gaming, but still recoverable if they make fast-paced plays. If they catch the bumps, if they get even a demo, they can find the opening to tie up the scoreboard yet again. Or just do that.
That was scary. That would have been a disaster right there for Los Hombres de Paco, who are going to be trying to hold on. Final 30 seconds remaining. However, it is an offensive attempt right now coming from this Infusion side. Petersburg has to beat Nachito, and unfortunately he's unable to do it. Johnny Sousa, again, gets the touch, won't get the bump. Corner ball is not going to do it. Only 10 seconds left.
Chili, loses control. Chili loses control of the dribble, leaves it for Peter Byrne. 7 seconds left on the clock. Nachito still tries to go for yet another contact. Ball is going to drop. And this is going to be clean sweep. No, the ball gets cut off by Kier Monster. Demenza keeps it airborne, and Kier Monster secures another goal. 0 seconds into the game.
That is twice Kier Monster has pulled off a 0-second goal. And while they hadn't really had an impact at our, series total, it's still going to be a 3-0 sweep for Los Hombres de Paco. What this is telling me is never count this team out, because if they have the ability to pull off these 0-second goals, anytime they're 1 goal down and that timer is hitting 0, look out. They know what to do in those situations.
Yes, they do. And Los Hombres de Paco secured the first clean sweep of the Iberian League. I mean, they were hyped by the Canyons, who we assumed were the favorites. So we'll have to wait and see how they can actually match up against the rest of the squad, or against the rest of the squads. throughout the weeks to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I liked the aerial play from Los Hombres de Pacos. I liked how tight they were setting up their shots, especially those overhead shots, constantly spiking and down with really much great efficiency. However, on this infusion side, there was a lot from this team I liked as well, actually. They were able to counterattack when they went for their 50s. A lot of times they were doing quite well with them. Like it was mostly in favor of Los Hombres, but they still were getting some going their way. And I feel like there were so many times where, in particular, Johnny, if he had just had 10, 15 more boost, this could have been a completely different game. So many times they were just short of making these goals happen. So, Infusion, I think they actually have a very high ceiling, and I'm excited to see how close they can get to sort of reaching it.
I know they just need a little bit more gas in their tank, I would say. Like,
Mhm,
they just need to keep up their comms, and they need to keep up throughout the mid and late game, because it just feels like they play really, really well and really, really solidly throughout these initial stages of the game. But as soon as the clock starts hitting the 2 minute mark, they start feeling the pressure fall upon them, and they start trying to play a little bit slower, try to control the tempo of the game, and
mhm.
they just get completely out tempoed, because at least Los Hombres de Paco seem to be a lot more fast paced team throughout all the stages of the game.
Yeah, again, yeah, I mentioned this in between games 2 and 3. It's that element of the mental game, and I feel like
Yeah.
this at times there are hesitation and at times there are overcompensation coming from this infusion side where they were going for things that they had no chance of just because they felt the pressure like they had to, or they were second guessing their own decision at key moments. These are things that get fixed with experience, with playing
Yes.
more in these tournaments, and maybe playing against someone that they might not feel as intimidated against. Like intimidation can totally be a thing, even at the top levels. So I feel Infusion, they should be able to bounce back from this. I'm excited to see how they play tomorrow against For the Win. I think that's going to be an exceptional game. I think we will be seeing a more confident Infusion in that game and in that series. And that's going to be like pretty much my highlight series almost for tomorrow.
Hopefully, yes. But we have one more interview to go through tonight or this afternoon, depending on where you are. It's afternoon for
Well,
me,
it's
but
just
it's
this morning
it's
now.
tonight to you. It's almost morning. Jesus
It is
Christ. All right.
morning.
Let's get Nachito in here so we can get our last interview of the day. Nachito, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, good bro.
How are you feeling after this game? It was the first clean sweep of the night.
Yeah. Was an intense match, but we started the game very solid in defense,
Mhm.
and we did some good plays in attack. So I'm very happy with the team.
So coming up against Infusion now, this isn't really a team that I feel you would know too much about. I would assume just sort of, because different region, Portugal, still growing. When you're going up against a team that you might be questioning and not sure what their skill level is it sort of that like MO to opt with the more defensive play style, see what you can get away with, and then start to sort of accelerate the pace as the series goes on?
Sorry.
Start slow. He's asking basically, was the plan to start slow and ramp up the game? Like start slow and move in faster.
Okay. We play a team we have never played,
Hmm.
so we just started to see how they was their play style, and we tried to do something to make a pressure and do the other team make some space in their defense.
Hmm.
So we take advantage from this and we start scoring.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think? Did you ever feel any sort of pressure coming up against Infusion Gaming? Were they? Did you feel like, oh, okay, they might actually win this at any point,
Uh,
or were you
yeah,
always in control?
the third match, I think we started losing,
Hmm.
and I said to the team, let's do a bit more pressure, and that's the start for the win. Make that make us win that game,
Hmm.
and I think that was so important to take the game.
And then I guess, off of this win and looking forward, already teams like Canyons have kind of called you guys out as probably, what could be their biggest competition in this tournament. Do you feel that you are probably, that number one team? Do you feel there are other teams that might make you nervous moving forward? Or is this just going to be all Los Hombres from start to finish?
I think we can win every team on this league, and Canyons. I know is a very good team. I have played against them so much time, but I have no fear for this team, and I think we can win it. Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
thank you so much. That's actually very, very motivating to hear from you. Well, thank you for your time, Nachito. Wish you all the best for tomorrow as well, as you're going to face off against, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to face off against Super Mode. Do you
Yeah.
think they're going to be an easier or harder matchup than Infusion?
Uh, it's gonna be a hard match,
Mm-hmm.
but we are gonna think. We're gonna try to do a play style who make them pressure, and but I hope we win. I think we can win, and that's all.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, thank you, and congratulations on the first 3-0 victory of the Iberian League.
Thank you.
Right. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that was day number 1 of the Iberian League. More days are to come. Thank you once again to Nachito for joining us for this last interview, and for all the other players who joined us throughout the day. That being said, once again, thank you to Process. Thank you for Esports League for bringing us together. Max, I hope you enjoyed this little time with us, but we'll be back tomorrow at the same time at 2 o'clock in Portugal time, or 3 p.m. in Spanish time, or you know what, check the timetables. You'll probably figure out more than what I can tell you. So you know what they say. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow. Have good games, good nights, and we'll see you.